they
So
can
you
block
think
it.
that people can change their destiny?
Yeah.
So you won't tell them someone is coming in the next month?
No. And the reason that I don't is because there's so much at play, I believe. So I do believe that if you're meant to cross paths with people, if there's certain things in your life that you're being drawn to do, like with your passion and purpose and everything, you're moving along on a timeline. That timeline can change with your decisions and the way you're showing up. And, you know, what I say to people is, it's happening in the near future, but I mightn't tell them the exact time, because the thing is, I might say February. So they'll be itching in February and they might go, oh, this guy asked me on a date. It's him. And they'll latch onto this person, or my ex texts me, oh, it must be him. He's coming back. And like they'll latch onto that person, right? And, you know,
Totally.
like, I've definitely been there, you know, and you're hoping and praying and you're kind of getting obsessive then. And then it nearly kind of turns the whole thing on its head, or you miss the person you were meant to meet because you're fixated on someone else.
Yeah.
And then sometimes as well, the other person involved might go, do you know, they might flip the script and not go out the night that you're meant to, that, you know, that it's kind of orchestrated that you could meet. So that puts it on its head a little bit. So maybe it's March, April now with the new timeline because they needed a bit of extra healing after seeing their ex. Like there's all this stuff that happens because there's two souls being destined to meet. There's also, if you're sitting in your pajamas, that's a bit hard to meet, you know?
Yeah.
So as in, sometimes there's a lot of play, I think, behind the scenes. So I won't tell you an exact, but I might tell you it's coming up and you need to get ready. So what I'll tell them to work on in the meantime is getting into their best self, all of the qualities that they want to meet in somebody, start to embody that themselves, start to really like live their best lives, like just showing up, you know, in their best self, and kind of going, well, what's the last few things that you want to do while you're single? You know, maybe you want to go on that last holiday abroad on your own. Maybe there's stuff that you haven't done before that you're like, I kind of want to do that before I meet somebody. Do you know, like small things?
It's
You might
hard
want-
though. It's like, Amber, it's hard
Oh,
though
it
when
is
you're in
hard.
that space and you're like, everybody's met somebody. I'm still single. Like I've been single for years and now I'm close to, I don't know, 35, 40, whatever it is. And I'm never going to have a baby now because it's never happening. This is a grind. The apps are a grind. Every date I go on is a grind. Like, do you believe that anybody can meet anybody, can have their soulmate if they want one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see it all the time. I really do see it all the time. People that come in, they're like, where, you know, I really want to meet somebody. And I'm like, as soon as you walked in, your heart's closed off. I know it 100%. And they have blocks up and guards up, and essentially, subconsciously, they're not willing to drop it yet. So for me, they need to be in the energy of receptivity. You know who to approach at a bar. You know who's even going on a date. You have to be open, even if they're not your usual type. Like sometimes we block our own blessings, so we get in our own head. We think it might never happen for us. I've certainly been there. Like I totally understand years of being single, you know, being with wrong people, just feeling crap in myself, I actually at one point hated looking at romance movies. I was like, I hate them. I hated seeing people happy. I kind of got a little bit sour where even like my own friends moving on with their lives, not that I wasn't happy for them, of course I was,
But
I
you were
was upset
sad for yourself.
I was sad for me, and I was worried that this fantasy of meeting somebody might never happen.
But
so
knowing
I get it, you know.
So you have a partner now, right?
Yeah.
But like knowing what you know and working in what you work in, what did you have to tell yourself or know about yourself in order to flip that energy and meet this person? Like, did you, because you can't, like, I think one of the biggest things, and we'll talk about the pre-steps to manifestation. Like one of my steps in manifestation is, you know, what do you want? Why do you want it? What do you see? What do you hear? Step 4 is, what do you hear? You hear the, I love you, you're amazing, you know, let's get married, whatever you want, let's travel together, whatever you think of with your soulmate. But it's also about what you're telling yourself. So if you're saying, oh my God, this is a grind, everybody's getting married, I'm not getting married, I'm never going to meet anybody. What you put out is what you're going to get back, and you're not going to meet that person. Or if you do meet them, you're going to self-sabotage it.
Yeah.
So knowing what you know and still watching the movies and not watching the movies and the friendships, like how did you change that?
So How I went about it was I started doing healing work. So I did my Reiki level 1. Not everyone has to go and do that spiritual journey. That was my
Yeah.
path. But what I actually did was I took responsibility for myself. And that's hard because I was kind of like, oh, I always attract non-committal people and all of this. And I was kind of putting the blame on everybody else but myself. And then I was like, do you know what? There's something in this because I am in the middle of all the chaos, all the drama, all of the same old, and I'm the middle. I'm the common denominator in everything.
Yes.
So I
yes.
took
Yes.
responsibility.
Yes. I love
And it's
that.
hard. And sometimes, I'm very blunt with clients. Like, I'll be very honest and I'll say, we need to work on it. Yeah, well, we need to work on you because let's not sit and say, oh, my ex is a narcissist. I'm like, let's have a look at what's going on with you. Why are you attracting that in and why are you accepting it? And I think that's what I learned to go, do you know what, Amber? You have to fix this or you're not going to meet the right person. And actually what's funny is my boyfriend's total skeptic. So he always finds when he's listening to this, he's like rolling his eyes. But I know on my side that before we met, I just wrote a letter like to myself where I was like, and it was to my angels, but it was kind of to myself as well, where I was like, I'm ready to let go of the past. I'm ready to let go of old relationships. I'm ready to let go of all the heartbreak, of everything that all the stuff that I tell myself. Like I just really worked on that. And actually a few weeks later is when I met him and it's like the universe brought us together. I felt this compelled to move back from Limerick to Oranmore. We ended up being neighbours. We wouldn't have really met in any other circumstance other than online because we were both so busy and the fact we were beside each other was really handy. But it all kind of worked out like a really nice timing. But I was years single. Like I was years on this rodeo and like I always had a closed offness, even when I was in relationships, even when I was in a long-term relationship. I was always quite closed off and not in a bad way, one foot out the door, but definitely like I never fully like committed. So actually the commitment issues that I was attracting were actually me in another life, in another person. And I had to take that responsibility and go, right, I want to change, which means, I want to change in my life. I want to change the situations. I want to meet someone and actually be happy. So I need to change me first.
Yeah.
So, and you can't control other people, timing, situations. You can only control how you're showing up and the healing you do for yourself. That's it. So that's why I always say to clients, just take the ownership, even if it's difficult. Most of the time you're mirroring one another. And that's one of the things I've in the book. You're usually attracting a mirror to yourself. So when you love yourself, you'll attract in someone who can love you because you love yourself first. That's why that annoying quote is said so much. It's actually true. You have to love yourself first because if you're looking for another person to see your worth, then you're never going to really find that because you're looking for it elsewhere outside of yourself. And probably the person that you're attracting is also looking for that from you or from anyone else. Maybe they're looking for it from many people, but as in you're not going to find it anywhere other than yourself. So it's for you to do the work.